So never mind my dress code. It's this rain. It's this rain, eh? In some areas of the country, it's pouring. In other areas, it's merely drizzling. And in other areas, it's just raining consistently so, with a fairly less frequent rate of rainfall, right? But this is a lesson in another part of our lives, right? Sometimes we go through challenges and we underestimate those challenges, right? Think about it. When it was hot last week, all we wanted to do was complain. The aircon isn't working. Complain it's too hot outside. We can't even enjoy leisurely so. And then things then turn around and then it rains for the whole week, right? Day one, we're pretty happy with the rain. Then it starts pouring. Then, it becomes unbearable to a certain extent. But such is life. There's a time and season for everything, right? So I've been going through a rainy season of my life personally. And it made me want to touch a particular subject today. A subject that has stigma around it or has a taboo around it. So I wanted to share my thoughts on therapy and counseling and seeking help beyond trying to help and assist yourself. Motivational speakers, people who inspire us, they always say you have the strength to overcome and, you need to use the tools at your disposal for you to overcome those particular challenges or obstacles in your life. So I gladly say that there's something that I'm going through and I know that I have intrinsic strength and the ability to overcome it. However, there are external resources that I'm reaching out to, such as therapy, such as counseling, such as professional advice, so that mentally I'm at my peak and mentally I'm able to not succumb to circumstances that are negative in my life. There's a stigma around therapy, right? People think that you are a lunatic if you undergo therapy, or you are a weakling because you are a man, particularly so. Whereas in the life that we live in, this fast-paced, high-frequency life with, much pressure, lifestyle pressure, peer pressure, of work, pressure of family, pressure to become perfect, pressure to become the best that you can be, pressure. Those are the certain things that we go through, that bring about that particular pressure in our lives. And to alleviate or at least control or minimize that pressure, sometimes we need external resources and we need to reach out. But firstly, reach out knowing that you have tried things that for you to become better and for you to become, in a better space, in a positive space. Listen to motivational talks, journal your difficulties and try to come up with solutions to them. Talk to people close to you, within your circle, but when it gets too heavy for you, do not shy away from seeking professional help, professional advice, because they'll find ways and strategies that you can employ in your own life that will actually guide you out of that pit of difficulty, out of that pit of a challenge or obstacle. Do not shy away from it, right? Our parents, for example, we're actually quite fortunate because our parents and generations that came before them in their lineage of living, they had to face circumstances that were harder than ours. The apartheid regime, for example, slavery in other areas, for example. And with those difficulties, there were certain expectations, societal expectations of men. And out of those expectations came through a lineage of tyranny of the heart for a man, right? A man is not supposed to talk and express themselves. A man is not supposed to cry. A man is just supposed to be strong all the time. And as human beings, that's not necessarily possible all the time. That's not necessarily possible, in the life that we live in. As I said, life is seasonal, right? There are good times and there are bad times. And during those bad times, when there isn't a synchronization of thoughts, feelings, ideas, and a plan within you of how to overcome certain challenges, then it becomes much harder. So when those challenges actually come, do not shy away from seeking professional advice. Do not shy away from seeking therapy. Those people have abundant experience. They are learned and they know all about mental health. They know all about, family dynamics. They know all about work pressures and challenges, and they know what type of approaches to use for different situations. They'll even give you some tasks to do so that you actually focus on the problem at hand. You focus on getting better, and you then have to put and give it your all for you to not succumb to the circumstances as difficult as they may be at the point in time that you are going through those particular circumstances. So yeah, I just want us to break the stigma, break the taboo, and just when you need help, cry out. People, when you're going through difficulties, when you are mourning, when you are grieving, when circumstances seem dimmer and blacker and darker than you've ever imagined, when you need to cry. Man or woman, cry. Find your own. If you don't need to cry in front of people. You don't need their sympathy. You can just find your corner and cry, or cry in front of the person that means the most to you, that will not judge you for being open and transparent and seeking the help, and seeking the comfort and support. Just do it openly. Do not shy away from it. You are a human being. So let's break this stigma, let's break this taboo. A real leader confronts those difficult situations in their lives, and sometimes therapy helps you confront yourself in those situations. They help you identify what is in your control and what is in your area of influence, and what is outside your control and what is outside your area of influence. If we go back to the weather at hand, in this rain, for example, we don't have control of the amount of rainfall that comes down, right? It's the blessing that God gives us. But what we do have is control over, how we capture the water and use it as grey water for our plants. How we view the gloomy weather. Sometimes you might want to go out and play in the fields, play soccer or whatever, but then at the same time, it's an opportunity for you to be indoors with your family and have fun and enjoy intimate conversations, watch movies, enjoy, those personal interactions with one another. And they actually mean a lot when you look at them from those circumstances. So those are some of the things and techniques that you might learn when you go through those particular therapeutic sessions and counseling sessions, and they give you perspective. So yeah, if you need it, go for it. If you're thinking about it, go for it. If you're longing for it, go for it, right? By all means, just go for it. Chances are you won't regret it. Cheers.